The chain-smoking old girls with the county council logos on their breasts start shrieking in panic. The drug-taking youths stare at the track, their hands enmeshed in their backpack straps as if fearing that they might otherwise fall over. Ove stands on the edge of the platform on the other side and looks with irritation from one to the other. For Christ's sake, fumes Ove to himself at long last as he jumps down onto the track. Grab hold here, will you? He calls out to one of the backpackers on the platform. The certified youth drags himself slowly to the edge. Ove hoists up the suit-wearing man in a way that men who have never put their foot in a gym yet have spent their entire lives carrying two concrete plates under each arm tend to be able to do. He heaves up the body into the backpacker's arms in a way that Audi driving men wearing neon bright jogging pants are often incapable of doing. He can't stay here in the path of the train. You get that, don't you? The backpackers nod in confusion, and finally, by their collective efforts, manage to drag the suit-wearing body onto the platform. The county council women are still screaming, as if they sincerely believe this is a constructive approach under the circumstances. The man appears to be breathing, but Ove stays down there on the track. He hears a train coming. It's not quite the way he planned it, but it'll have to do. Then he calmly goes into the middle of the track, puts his hands in his pocket, and stares into the headlights. He hears the warning whistle like a foghorn, feels the track shaking powerfully under his feet, as if a testosterone-fueled bull were trying to charge him. He breathes out. In the midst of that inferno of shaking and yelling and the chilling scream of the train's brakes, he feels a deep relief. At last. To Ove, the moments that follow are elongated, as if time itself has applied its brakes and made everything around him travel in slow motion. The explosion of sound is muted into a low hiss in his ears, the train approaching so slowly that it's as if it's being pulled along by two decrepit oxen. The headlights flash despairingly at him, and in the interval between two of the flashes, while he isn't blinded, he finds himself establishing eye contact with a train driver. He can't be more than 20 years old, one of those who still gets called the puppy by his older colleagues. Ove stares into the puppy's face, clenches his fists in his pockets as if he's cursing himself for what he's about to do. But it can't be helped, he thinks. There's a right way of doing things and a wrong way. So the train is perhaps about 50 meters away when Ove swears with irritation, and as calmly as if he was getting up to fetch himself a cup of coffee, steps out of the way and jumps up on the platform again. The train has drawn level with him by the time the driver has managed to stop it. The puppy's terror has sucked all the blood out of his face. He is clearly holding back his tears. The two men look at each other through the locomotive window as if they had just emerged from some apocalypse the desert, and now realized that neither of them were the last human beings on earth. One is relieved by the insight, and the other disappointed. The boy in the locomotive nods carefully. Ove nods back with resignation. Fair enough that Ove no longer wants his life, but sort of man who ruins someone else's by making eye contact with him seconds before his body is turned into blood paste against the dead person's windscreen. Damn it, Ove is not that sort of man. Neither his dad or Sonia would ever have forgiven him for that. Are you all right? One of the hardheads calls out behind Ove. Another minute and you'd have been a goner. There's one of the others. They stand there staring at him, not at all unlike the way they were standing just now and staring into that hole. It seems to be their prime area of competence. In fact, to stare at things. Ove stares back. Another second, clarifies the man who still has a banana in his hand. It could have gone quite badly, that. Sneakers, the first hot hat. Really badly, the other one agrees. Could have died, actually, clarifies the third. You're a real hero. Saved their life. Saved his life. Ove corrects and hears Sonia's voice in his own. Would have died otherwise. The third one irritates, taking a forthright bite of his banana. On the track is the train with all its red emergency lights turned on, puffing and screeching like a very fat person who's just run into a wall. A great number of examples of what Ove assumes must be IT consultants and other disreputable folk come streaming out and stand about dizzily on the platform. Ove puts his hands in his trouser pockets. I suppose now you will have a lot of bloody lead trains as well, he says and looks with particular displeasure at the chaotic press of people on the platform. Yeah, says the first hardhead. Reckon so, says the other. Lots of delays. The third one agrees. Ove makes a sound like a heavy bro that's got a rusted up hinge. He goes past all three of them without a word. Where you off to? You're a hero. The first hardhead yells at him, surprised. Yeah, yells the other. A hero, yells the third. Ove doesn't answer. He walks past the man behind the plexiglass, back out into the snow-covered streets, and starts walking home. The town slowly wakes up around him with its foreign-made cars and its statistics and credit card debt and all its other crap. And so this day is also ruined, he confirms with bitterness. As he is walking alongside the bicycle shed by the parking area, he sees the white Skoda coming past from the direction of Anita and Rune's house. A determined woman with glasses is sitting in the passenger seat, her arms filled with files and papers. Behind the wheel sits the man in the white shirt. Ove has to jump out of the way to avoid being run over as the car races round the corner.